your sleep is bad, your mood is despicable because you're constantly fatigued and you're thinking about food all the time, and on top of that, your genitals hang in there but they become completely useless other than for urinating. What's up folks, it's Uranus from Brussels. Welcome to another video. Today we're discussing why natural bodybuilders are very often completely losing their libido while preparing for a bodybuilding show. It's a known fact that guys getting completely shredded for a show are actually dead from the waist down. So when you actually achieve your greatest physique ever, stage worthy is actually the time where you can't get it up and you would rather look at a plate of pizza than a naked woman. Now why is that? Let's settle it. First of all, getting shredded means these guys are actually getting down to ridiculously low body fat percentage. Like we're talking 5 or 6% ideally for a show. So we're not talking about Ryan Gosling lean looking ab physique or Henry Cavill in Superman. Getting ready for a show means they spend months significantly dropping their weight off to show their driest and their leanest physique ever while maintaining as much muscle mass as possible. The last weeks can be quite miserable because of the constant hunger, the fatigue and the mental aspects of living in a box. I have a 100% natty gym buddy of mine who recently went on his first bodybuilding show ever, and he said in his update videos that in the last weeks even bending down to put on his socks was a significant effort because of the constant fatigue, and his libido also took a big hit. Your workouts suck because you don't have any energy, your sleep is bad, your mood is despicable because you're constantly fatigued and you're thinking about food all the time, and on top of that, your genitals hang in there but they become completely useless other than for urinating. Desire for sex is completely destroyed because testosterone levels will significantly drop. When your body is in a large caloric deficit for months on end, your body is entering a sort of starvation mode. And some guys can get severely hypogonadal during their cut, which means that testosterone levels will drop significantly. We're talking about men who are not on any performance enhancing drugs, and yes, there are still some of them out there, and most often they will drop their calories below 2000 calories per day on top of doing cardio and 5 or 6 workouts per week. So in the end the fatigue is huge, and at that point your body doesn't really care about reproduction anymore but more about starvation and survival, and your testosterone levels will drop because you're depriving your body of crucial nutrients to keep your hormonal production balanced and on point, and that's why testosterone levels plummet and your libido of course too. This blood work comes from a scientific study that was done on a natural bodybuilder who prepared for a show and got tested at multiple intervals to see the effect of his cutting on his blood work. He got tested 6 months before his competition, 3 months before on the competition itself, and then afterwards. And we can clearly see 6 months before the competition his testosterone levels were at the upper range. He was at 922 nanograms per deciliter. Then 3 months before we see a huge drop to 225, and during the show 227 nanograms per deciliter. That's levels you would typically see on people with quite severe hypogonadism, all from depriving yourself from food. 3 months after the show his testosterone levels had already recovered but not fully. It took 6 full months before his testosterone levels had fully recovered to his baseline levels, which they were before his competition. That's also why natural bodybuilders will lose more muscles while cutting than, for example, a person on testosterone replacement therapy. Wolfing Physique is another example of a natural who shared his blood work on YouTube after shredding for months on end, and his testosterone levels were extremely low even 3 months after stopping to cut. On top of that, he had thyroid issues and other hormonal problems. Now I don't know for how long that guy was cutting, but if you ask me, in the end it didn't look that healthy anymore. That's why it's really important to not cut for too long and to then afterwards increase the calories again. I believe you can really do damage to your endocrine system by cutting for way too long, and if you can also lose more muscles than you should, because you will always lose muscle on a cut, but if your testosterone levels drop completely you will lose more muscles than you should. Hopefully and normally testosterone levels fully recover a couple of months after the show and come back to normal when you're in a caloric surplus Again, but there are some of them out there who never actually recover and who end up on TRT because of this. All for that 120 seconds on stage. Ending it here. Would you guys be able to sacrifice that much just to have your best physique on show day? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you like my content. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Uranus out.